Alright, picture this. We're here. We've just navigated the vibrant, chaotic streets of Cairo. The sounds of horns and the smell of street food are fading behind us. And then, you see it. It doesn't just appear, it sort of grows out of the horizon. The Great Pyramid of Giza. It's not just a structure, it's a man-made mountain. The scale is impossible to understand from a picture or a documentary. It's so big it messes with your sense of perspective. It feels both impossibly far away and right on top of you at the same time. The sun glints off the remaining casing stones, you just have to stop and stare. Now you might think we're going to waltz right through the original sealed entrance. Well, not exactly. The original entrance is a bit higher up and was sealed for centuries. Our way in is a little more dramatic. Look here, this is the Robber's Tunnel, or Al-Mamun's Tunnel. His men, unable to find the real entrance, simply started digging. They brute forced their way in, creating this rough-hewn passage. It's our gateway to the pyramid's inner mysteries. Take a deep breath of that outside air. Things are about to change. As we step inside, the first thing that hits you is the shift. The blazing Egyptian sun is gone. The noise of the Giza plateau vanishes. The air becomes still. The air becomes cool. The air becomes thick with the smell of ancient dust and stone. It's a bit claustrophobic, I won't lie. But there's also a palpable sense of excitement. We walk in the footsteps of ancient explorers and treasure hunters. Okay, get ready for a climb. This is the ascending passage. Tight squeeze, about 3.5 feet high and just as wide. We'll be hunched over for a bit. The passage slopes upward at a steep 26-degree angle. A modern wooden ramp with cleats, a convenience the original explorers didn't have. Imagine scrabbling up this smooth limestone slope in the dark. Smooth, almost seamless blocks of white limestone on the walls. The precision is staggering. Feels less like a construction site and more like the inside of a finely crafted machine. Think about the purpose of this place as we climb. This wasn't a palace for the living. It was a resurrection machine for a king. Every corridor, every chamber, each designed with a specific spiritual purpose. The ancient Egyptians believed the king's soul, or Ba, would journey to the stars to join the gods. The air is still and silent. Only our breathing. The climb is about 129 feet long, it feels longer. Run your hand along the cool, smooth stone as you climb. Think about the hands that cut and placed these blocks. No iron tools, no lasers. They used copper chisels, stone hammers, and incredible ingenuity and manpower. It was a sacred duty, a national project on a scale we can barely comprehend. Before we tackle that magnificent gallery, let's take a little detour. Down this horizontal passage is a room that has puzzled archaeologists for centuries, the Queen's Chamber. Now, the name is a bit of a misnomer. Most Egyptologists agree that this wasn't for a queen. The pyramids of the queens were separate, smaller structures outside. So, what was this room for? Let's step inside. The first thing you'll notice is the striking gabled limestone roof. It's an incredible piece of engineering, designed to displace the immense weight of the stone above it. The room itself is relatively small and starkly empty. The walls are smooth but unfinished in places. There's a large, mysterious niche carved into the east wall. Was this meant to hold a statue of the king, perhaps his Ka, or his spirit double? One of the biggest secrets of this chamber wasn't discovered until 1872. An engineer named Wayneman Dixon noticed a crack in the south wall, tapped it, and heard a hollow sound. He chiseled away and discovered small, square shafts disappearing into the masonry. For over a century, no one knew where they went. They were dubbed air shafts, but that makes no sense. This is where modern exploration comes in. Robotic probes and cameras were later sent up these shafts to find out what lay beyond. Okay, time for the main event. Let's head back to that junction and step into the Grand Gallery. And, wow, this is the moment that leaves everyone speechless. After the tight constricting passages, this space just explodes upwards. The ceiling is nearly 28 feet high, and the gallery continues its steep 26-degree ascent for over 150 feet. The walls are made of polished limestone that angle inwards as they go up, creating this incredible corbelled effect. It feels like you're standing inside the spine of some great stone beast, or perhaps a cathedral dedicated to an ancient god. Look at the craftsmanship. The stones are fitted together so perfectly that you can't slip a piece of paper between them. It's a masterpiece of architectural design. Along the sides of the floor are two narrow ramps or banquettes with a series of slots carved into them. For a long time, their purpose was a complete mystery. One popular theory, storage for giant granite plugs used to seal the ascending passage after the king's burial. The slots might have held wooden beams to hold the plugs in place until they were needed. As we make the climb up the gallery's ramp, the sheer acoustics of the place are amazing. Even a whisper echoes. You can only imagine what it would have sounded like during a ritual, filled with the chanting of priests. It's another reminder that this was a sacred space. Installed fixtures create a dramatic play of light and shadow, highlighting the incredible precision of the stonework. Every step up this ramp builds the anticipation for what lies at the very top. Reaching the top of the Grand Gallery, we arrive at a large flat platform known as the Great Step. A single massive block that acts as a final threshold. We have to climb over it to proceed. This is it. We've ascended through the heart of the pyramid. We've seen the architectural genius of the gallery. Now we have to duck down one last time to enter a short, low passageway leading directly into the most important room in the entire structure, the King's Chamber. After ducking through that last low passage, we enter the King's Chamber. And honestly, the change is immediate and dramatic. The white limestone of the passages is gone. Here, everything is red. The entire chamber is built from massive, precisely cut blocks of red granite. Walls, floor, ceiling, transported from Aswan over 500 miles to the south. The room is a perfect double cube, stark, rectangular, totally unadorned. There are no hieroglyphs, no paintings, no decorations of any kind, just the silent, imposing presence of the polished red stone. Over in the corner sits the only object in the room, a large, lidless granite sarcophagus. It's chipped and damaged, but it's still here. It's slightly larger than the entrance to the chamber, meaning it was placed here as the pyramid was built around it. Look up. The ceiling is 9 massive granite slabs together weighing about 400 tons. Above them are 5 relieving chambers, rough, unfinished spaces designed to redistribute weight. A brilliant feat of engineering. All right, as we make our way back down and out into the sunlight, the one question burning in everyone's mind is, how? How on earth did they build this? We're talking about 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons. For a long time, the prevailing theory was a giant, long, straight ramp. But the math on that just doesn't work. It would have needed to be over a mile long and contain more material than the pyramid itself. One popular theory, championed by Jean-Pierre Houdin, is the internal ramp theory. A short external ramp for the bottom third and a spiral internal ramp for the rest. This would let them move blocks to upper levels and explains the Grand Gallery's placement. Some propose counterweight systems operating in the gallery. Most core blocks were quarried on the Giza Plateau. Fine white casing from Tura across the Nile. Massive granite from Aswan, 500 miles away. They were quarried, loaded on barges, floated down the Nile during the flood. Remains of canals and harbors likely led right up to the pyramid base. Forget what you've seen in the movies. Archaeology shows a workers' village. Dedicated, well-fed, organized Egyptian laborers, not slaves. They lived in planned communities with bakeries, breweries, medical facilities, and evidence of recognition and pride. This was civic and religious duty. It was a national project of unparalleled scale. Organizing tens of thousands, quarrying and transporting millions of tons of stone. They built a mountain with copper tools and human will, an audacity we can barely grasp. The Great Pyramid has been explored for centuries, but it hasn't given up all its secrets yet. Modern science is giving us incredible new tools to peer inside the pyramid's stone walls without drilling a single hole. One of the most exciting fields is muography, kind of like a giant X-ray. Muons rain down from space and pass through stone. By measuring patterns we can detect voids. And in 2017, the Scan Pyramids team announced a blockbuster discovery, a massive, previously unknown void deep within the pyramid. Known chambers and the newly discovered big void highlighted in color. It's located above the Grand Gallery and estimated at least 100 feet long. What is it? Another Grand Gallery? A structural relieving feature? Or a hidden chamber, filled with who knows what? In 2023, scientists snaked an endoscopic camera through a tiny joint and got a look inside. A small, unfinished, vaulted corridor. Its purpose remains unknown. Every new discovery adds another layer to the puzzle. We are living in a golden age of pyramid exploration. Muon scans, robotics, new questions. The expedition is far from over. The Great Pyramid still contains secrets waiting to be revealed. So, here we are, back on the Giza Plateau, blinking in the bright sun. We've climbed into the heart of the last ancient wonder of the world. We felt the oppressive weight of the stone, marveled at impossible architecture, and touched the empty sarcophagus of a king who lived 4,500 years ago. I think it's because the Great Pyramid is so much more than just a pile of rocks. It's a symbol of human ambition, ingenuity, and our eternal quest to understand our place in the universe. They organized a workforce, quarried and transported millions of tons of stone, aligned their structure to the cardinal points and distant stars with breathtaking accuracy. In a world where so much feels temporary, the pyramid is a profound statement of permanence, built to last for eternity. The pyramid engages our deep-seated love of a good mystery. It's the ultimate cold case file. Every visitor becomes a detective. From Herodotus to Napoleon to the millions of tourists who come here every year, people have been pulled to this place by wonder. It reminds us we come from a long line of builders, dreamers, and stargazers, and it dares us to reach for our own stars, and that is why we will never stop coming back.